So when you're coming across this live, or whether you're watching the replay, just go ahead and pause, take a deep breath, feel your feet or your seat or wherever's touching the earth, kind of ground down for a second. Open up the top of your head, imagine this white light pouring in, and just say, Spirit, God, universe, what is it that I need to be hearing right now? What is it that I need to be hearing right now? Or you could very specifically say, like, I have a question about this, and what is some guidance on this, and we're just going to pull and see what happens. So we are starting off with the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a card about new beginnings, and this is a card not just about new beginnings, but it's about new opportunities for abundance, for growth, for stability, right? So Pentacles, we have to remember, Pentacle cards are about root chakra energy, their earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm literally sitting outside. I'm sure you could hear all of the birds and all of the things in the earth right now. Um, when we see this card, it's not just about money, right? Like, obviously, like, you can see that this person is holding out their hands and they're, getting presented with this new opportunity. It's more, mm, it's almost like Spirit saying, like, where do you want to kind of like plant your roots right now? And what do you want to kind of put your energy in that's going to help you grow stability, help you grow abundance? Like, if you're trying to pick between different jobs or different peoples, or like a yes or no question, like the answer would be like, which is going to give me more stability, which is going to give me more opportunity for growth, which is going to make me feel more stable, which is going to allow me to like have more of a future, right? Like, we're kind of past this energy of like, who's the fun person or who's the adventure person. Spirit is literally like, where can I find actual stability and growth? Like, where's this opportunity, um also, like, if you were questioning starting something new, like, in general, right, this is a card about manifestation, it's about prosperity, it's about abundance. It is the Sagittarius full moon, or excuse me, new moon, so you're being supported in that. Also, there are sirens going off in the background. I don't know if you can hear that. So I feel like that's going back to like the previous message of like, it's kind of like this idea of I've spoken this before, but it's very much like, just because you've done something before and it seems familiar doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do, right? So again, when we're making these decisions, one, if this was like, should I do this? It's yes or no. The answer is yes. But if you're trying to actually figure out like if you're contemplating like between choosing two things, the answer is to not go with what's the familiar, not go with the red flag thingy, go with what is going to bring you the stability and growth in the long term. Okay, and then we have our Eight of Wands. So this is a card, interesting fun fact, this card is the only card in the original Rider deck, sorry, I speak very fast when I start channeling, that doesn't have any people in it. This card is Wands, it's fire, it's Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. This card is about taking action. That's what this is about. So if you're like, should I do this? Yes or no? Again, the answer is yes. Take action. It's time to go forward. It's time to move forward. It can also be about travel. So if you're wanting to travel, I know I pulled an oracle card a few days ago that talked about like taking a trip. That could even be a staycation. It could be like exploring something where you are. I am in a really beautiful place where I can drive literally from 5 minutes to 5 hours to 15 hours. Doesn't matter. And there are so many gorgeous things I can see, places I can explore. And so, even if you can just take an afternoon to get away and go do something, but it's definitely about taking action and putting things into motion. And, this is an energetic type card. It's fire energy, right? So it's not about slow movement. It's about moving forward and getting things done. Also, it's the end of the year. So maybe there's something that's coming up that just needs to be taken care of before the end of the year. So whether it's like taxes or like a packing something, or if there were things that you told yourself at the beginning of the year that you just wanted to accomplish by the end, make sure that you're doing those. And then we have our Three of Pentacles. So, this is also a card of collaboration. And so, not having to do things alone, right? So say there is a big project that you planned on doing and you want to get it done by the end of the year. Well, there are people that you could be working with, right? This is another Pentacles card. So again, this has to do with the building of something, the foundation of something, that, again, I always say this, but really truly is like that root chakra, bottom base energy. That's home, work, stability, feeling safe, that structure type energy. And this is working with other people, right? So where can you be working with other people? Where can you be? Again, it goes back to the original, the Ace of Pentacles that came out, where it's like the people that you should be surrounding yourself with right now and the energy that you should be working with are the people that are going to help you build and work towards a stable future. You know, we are collectively in a 9-year coming to a close, and so systems and the ways of thinking have been broken down, and old ways of being, and you know, old relationships, and it's time to like let those things go and really say like, what do we want to take into 2026 as a numerology year one and new beginnings, right? We don't have time for the bullshit anymore. We don't have time for the red flags, the flaky people, the naysayers, you know, the friends that we've drug around for decades just because we've known them forever. Like, we don't have time and energy for that anymore. Like, we only want to, you know, we go through these 9-year cycles, and like, why do you want to start over this new cycle, this fresh beginning with this old bullshit from the past? So then we have our Two of Wands, right? Ooh, I love all these Wands cards too. I love the combination of the Wands and the Pentacles, because it's like, let's be passionate, let's have drive, let's move forward, but let's do it from like a stable, grounded type of way, which is interesting because there's a lot of air and fire energy coming into 2026 astrological wise, which is a lot of masculine energy, right? So, you know, twos, they are about partnership. You know, you guys, if you're listening to this, you should Google your personal year too, because it's one thing to lean into the energy of the collective moving into a 1 year, but also you have a personal year that starts over on your birthday, which maybe I should do a video about that. But, you know, this person is looking forward to the next thing, right? Like, the world is their oyster. They have the world in their hand. In the original deck, this one you can see the globes on the ground, and they're literally like, they're saying, what is the next thing that I'm gonna do? Like, literally, like, so again, this all has to do with, it feels like if we're asking like the direction that we're supposed to be going, it's all kind of the same message, right? Where it's saying like, okay, it is time to plan for the future, it is time to move on, it is time to think about like the next things that I want to do and the next steps that I want to take. That Eight of Wands, it's about time to take action and move towards those things. See, we keep getting all these Pentacle cards, and there's another Pentacles card, but this person, right, look at this, there's literally roots. I want you to look at this and this, right? It's about this person. Let's see. This person is doing the work on the surface, right? Looks like they're doing a little healing work almost, right? If you kind of look really close, you can see there's like yellow light coming in. They're nurturing, they're working on this, and they're understanding, they're knowing that all of this is happening underneath the surface, and all of these beautiful seeds have been planted and they're growing, and it's, you know, we're still working. So again, it's just an encouragement that like all the work that you've done, it is not going unseen. Like, it is there, it is beneath the surface, it is blossoming. You might feel like, you know, I've done all this fucking work all year long and I only have like this much to show for it, but that's because it's still coming, it's there. And literally, like, I need to hear like, trust the process, have faith that things are always working out for you. And then we have the Knight of Cups, so we're kind of switching energy here. So this is a Cups card. This is emotions. This is matters of the heart. It's feelings, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio type energy. And Knights, they're all about, ooh, do you guys see that? My camera's like, we don't like him. Let's make a little adjustment here. Knights are all about taking action, right? So I'm going to mix this with this, all this wand energy that we have, where it's saying like, you know, taking action and going forward towards your heart's desires. Like, what makes you feel la la la? What makes you feel lighthearted? What's like the knight in shining armor type energy, right? Like, that is, if you're saying like, well, I don't, again, so I feel like this energy switch. The beginning, it was like, where does this, it was the stability, right? And like, which is going to be the more stable option. And as we're like moving through this energy and we're making changes and we're, you know, stepping into this new year, we also have to remember, like, we do have to follow our heart's desires, and we have to take action towards things if we want things to happen, right? Like, I will say, sometimes there's more benefit from sitting and meditating on something for 20 minutes than taking 2 hours worth of action if you're not in alignment. But in the same breath, like, if you want to meet your partner but you never leave your house, like, that's not going to work, right? Like, or like, say like, oh, but I go out and I socialize and I put myself in places where I can like meet somebody. But do you always have a hat on? Do you always have your head down? Do you always have headphones on? Like, do you open up your energy? Do you smile at people? Do you make eye contact? So this feels a little more specific. It's like, whatever you want to make happen, if you still feel stuck or you're saying like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, this is kind of spirit being like you're actually not, and you have to take a little bit of action towards the things that you want, and you have to put yourself out there, and you have to be willing. Now again, we're not talking about doing red flag shit like the beginning, but you have to be willing to make moves and to let people see your heart and to let people see your feelings. And also, like, my eyes are going in the background. I think it's supposed to be a little hoarse, but to me, I get like unicorn energy from it. And it's like, you can't be scared to be a little different and be like your magical bad self. And like, oh, this is how they're saying it. They're saying like, your uniqueness makes you who you are. And so by trying to fit into some cookie cutter bullshit and trying to be what you think other people want you to be or who they want you to be, you're never going to be happy. Like, the only way to really find your fit in life when it comes to job, romantic relationships, friendships, whatever it is to really truly be authentic to who you are, even like on a fitness journey, right? Like, you might think that you're supposed to do A, B, and C because that's what everybody tells you to do, but that doesn't align with you. And the message is, if you don't do what actually aligns with you and who you are, what makes you feel good, then in the end, everything that you manifest and everything that you bring forward, you're not going to be happy because it's not truly in alignment with who you are. Let's get one more. Then we have the Eight of Swords. So again, this kind of switched energy towards the end. This, I feel like it's kind of going along with this Knight of Cups energy, because the Eight of Swords, right? Swords energy, this is matters of the mind, it's thoughts, it's processes, systems. Whenever we see these swords cards, it's literally spirit saying to us, like, this is in your mind. This is your thought process. This is the way that you are thinking about things. And it's funny because you would think that would be the easiest, thing to fix if it was something that was in your mind. But if that was the case, then we would all be walking around happy, right? Because our thoughts manifest our reality. So this is a card, this person, at one level, it is a card of victimhood. It is a card of why do all these things happen to me? But what it really is it's saying like, hey, like, you have done this to yourself. Like, this is you, and like, this is the way that you're seeing yourself, all tied up with all of these thoughts and all of this drama, and this scarf wrapped around your eyes. And why are you viewing yourself like this? Why are you seeing things like that? Why are you allowing these thoughts to take over? You don't have to do that, right? And again, that's kind of mixing with this energy of saying like, hey, like, you need to get your mind right, and you need to move forward in a stronger, more grounded direction. Thinking about like long-term potential and not the same bullshit as always. Let's get one more. And the card to end on is this Ace of Wands. So this, again, we started with the beginning card and now we're ending with the beginning card. And this is fire, passion, drive. Like, what makes you feel good? Like, again, it's like they're asking you to like go within and be like, within like who you are, like, what do you want to start? What relationships do you want to start? And when we say relationships, we're not just meaning romantic, right? Like, do I have a passion project? Do I want to start writing this book? Do I want to, open a fucking gym? Do I want to like start training for my first CrossFit competition? Do I want to go back to painting? Do I want to say, fuck it, and I'm already an artist and I'm going to do a whole collection? Like, whatever that is, like, there's a lot of like very specific things coming through. So